is what's perturbing the ethers, what's shaking the etheric bodies around you. Is it the idea of moving steadfast through something, pushing through, and like an elephant does, just knocking the jungle weeds away and trees? Or is it the fawn? Is it pausing in observation? Or is it finding the balance in between force and pressure, and emanation or observation? They're both subtle. It's movement still. It's observation still. Remembrance, memory. Something about the all there is. So perhaps there is a decision about how to be in oneself or how to act in a situation. Seems like a selfhood, but let's see if we can find a little something in here. How to move forward in a situation. So we're grabbing something, we're manifesting something. And how are we going to do that? Right? What part of self are we bringing in? Or are we balancing enough observation and gentle watching with it's time to go, it's time to move? How do we know when it's time to move? What do they want to focus on? The right path, a crossroads. There is a decision between two here. So how to be, and the decision between two ways. So how am I in myself, and then how do I act that out in whatever situation this is and whatever path we're being presented with. We've got two stable rods here, two stable elements of fire. I can line the path. How are you choosing a path? Something that feels steady and something that feels like it'll take you forward. Ooh. But there's maybe some fears here. Something stuck in the body, or something that doesn't have parameters yet. It doesn't have full attention, like fears getting in the way or distractions getting in the way. But something deep within, something in the body, maybe there's a question about how the body feels in making the decision, and so it's still observing, but something wants to go forward. Let's see. Well, we've got a little bit of a choice point here. Let's see. What's your best plan of action right now with this? Knowing what you want. Cups is emotions, but there's a waffling sense of energy, right? It's kind of on its side. It's not like, yes, go for what I want. It's figure out what you actually want. That's where this problem in the body is. You can't know what you want if we're not getting in touch with the body. And so that's why I think this moon was underneath the fawn. So I'll show you these. I have pulled some oracle cards for when there's a King of Pentacles. This one knows what he wants. Sitting on the top of the mountain, got his castle. Is generous, is nurturing, is kind, has resources, offers resources, etc. That's chilling there. But maybe a heartbreak got in the way of that. All right, so the fawn energy. That's the observing. It's softer, it's more gentle, it's more innocent. It watches without the judgment, in a sense. And then that's sitting here as these come out with the scales, the judgment, the decision, the balancing something out, and the elephant So it kind of looks like this on my table, right? Where I'm looking at these two. Which do I go? What do I do? Or when do I use which one, right? So in the scales, we had the pentacles. There's an event. There's something that is going towards. And under that elephant, we had the path, the two of wands. This is that decision point. This is that crossroads. And you could barrel straight through it. But what was offered is that there is some tentativeness and there's some watching and observation because of these fears, because of being stuck somewhere in the body around a decision about what you actually want. Deciding what actually fills this cup. You fill something with water in order to make it come into fruition, to manifest a thing, coins, a thing, right? Because we're perturbing the ethers. We want something to be created, and water and air helps you do that. Fire sets the course, okay? So we want to figure out where this is. And that King of Pentacles sitting there, and this heartbreak, and having everything that you want, 10 of Cups. Look at all these kind of hanging out here, right? So this is about, what do I want? What my moon is saying. What is my body saying? Where is it stopping me? What are my fears about this? Well, maybe it's about, I want this, but this happiness, this Cups journey has been distracting, perhaps, right? This has had to use head over heart. He uses all of it, right? This is air. A king is air and earth here. Maybe a little bit too much of that has blocked this off. And that's why we're not exactly sure what we want anymore. Maybe the pain of something from previous has gotten in the way of this air becoming truth. A solid hermit truth to turn the moon into its proper position. There was a tower about somebody sneaking some shit and making you trust your worth. Distrust your worth. And it being taken. All right, so that could be a problem. But that would be why this body, the moon, is upside down. Why it's saying this is obviously and clearly a set-in fear. And this is what makes us sit and pause and wait a little bit longer. Okay, but we wanted advice. Advice was to figure out what you want. So going back to self, doing some body ritual healing, some subconscious travel type stuff. I do that. Getting into your body, getting into your knowing, allowing yourself to want maybe something here. And this one just keeps wanting to come. The strength here. Taming that lion is essentially taming these subconscious patterns and such. And the Queen of Pentacles. All right. If you want to have a sort of come back into a King of Pentacles, you need the Queen of Pentacles, because that's not on the Pentacles journey. So if everything else has made it and there's a new venture coming around, he's moving in a tentative direction. He's excited about something. The knight gathers that and brings it to the queen, and she assesses. She witnesses, she holds, she births, she plants the seed, essentially. Okay, so what we're looking at is know what you want, plant the seed, and adjust the subconscious patterns that got us into this. So witnessing yourself. So doing things like meditation, deep allowance of self meditation and learning what brings you fulfillment. That's what all these are. A lot of air in order to get to the cups, and using wisdom, embodied wisdom that you know you already have. So this would be an uncovering of what's already there, what you already know to be true, and actually having radical honesty with yourself and radical acceptance for those things. Not saying, yeah, well, that's not our lot in life, or money doesn't grow on trees, or whatever those little platitudes and shit are that was planted into the body that aren't yours. Rip them the fuck open and get them the fuck out. take a real quick peek for what's in here. Six of Swords, more air. So there's a little bit too much air going on for this path that we want that has to do with Pentacles. So it's get out of the situation in the mind where there's conflict and defeatism. Leave it behind. Leave it behind with radical honesty and radical self-acceptance for what you want. Not, oh, well, we don't do that. You know how people might say, well, I want to be an artist. I want to be an actor. And the parent says, pick something realistic. Realistic for who? Not the world, because it's the world as they see it, not as the way you see it. Something here, subconscious, that somebody else is, has to go. Come up to be seen and readjusted. Good luck.